The older we get, the harder it is, you know. But yeah, yeah. Okay, so the third guidelines, you go emotional competence. Actually, it touched a little bit intelligence and resilience, and I think this is an important one nowadays, especially with resilience. I know that usually change is a perpetuum continuum for every company, and not just for companies, for life in general. But especially right now with the pandemics and so on, we're talking about forced change, and also about resilience. Whether you work remotely, whether you work at office, it doesn't matter. Could you expand a little bit of on that guideline?
I can. I think the important thing for people to, let me just pick up a couple of things.
Yes.
The important thing for people to think about, first of all, there are things which are called intrapersonal. That's about you. It's about me. It's intrapersonal in emotional intelligence. Whether you're talking emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, emotional agility, the first, and this came originally way back from stuff that was coming out at the end, towards the end of the 1900s. And Daniel Goleman was the real father, if you like, of emotional intelligence. Before that, everyone was talking about IQ, your intelligence, and they put a quotient on it, and it was all it's not a nonsense, but it isn't a good measure of people's ability to do a job. In other words, there's a lot of brilliant, bright people who couldn't do a thing as far as business or leadership is concerned. So the two intrapersonal things that are emotional intelligence, one is self-awareness. Know how you feel, what's happening with your body, whether your pulse rate's going up, whether you're feeling a bit squeamy, whether you're feeling nervous. All of those things are self-awareness. Only you really know them. Some people might see you sweating or see you red in the face or whatever, but the reality is it's you, it's your body. And the second one is, I can feel that. How do I actually regulate that without creating damage to yourself? And by that, let me give you a little picture. In all of us, we have an inner child. That inner child was created in our first 7 years of life. Some would go on a little bit longer, but in 7 years of life, we've had some bruises, and we've got wrong feelings, and we've got attitudes to life. We've got a little inner child that from time to time lets us know that they're in there, and they're feeling a bit scared or frightened. And it's okay to say, it's okay, you're fine. Yeah. You're going into a big meeting, stop the cuddles. Give yourself a cuddle, make yourself think about that. But equally, somebody in the workplace knows how to hit a button and say something that recalls a memory that you had. Maybe you didn't get picked for the football team or the soccer team or whatever it might be. And you felt rejected. And when you're an older person, somebody in your team starts ignoring you, and the little child in here, it's a hot button, it's been pushed. Now, in my case, I frequently would hold all my emotion together. And I shared this with LMA. In mine, I ended up getting a big scar down my chest because I had the heart attack as a result of lots of emotions that were like that, and my body was miles too uptight. And that changed my life because I never want to be in that situation again. The things that you have to have for emotional intelligence as well is the ability to create a motivational space, or the ability to motivate yourself to do something more than you would normally have wanted to do. To have empathy for other people without becoming sympathetic, but empathetic. And you have to have a certain amount of people skills in the way you communicate with those people. They're the skills. Now, emotional intelligence became emotional resilience. How good are you at bouncing back from disappointment,
Yeah.
from things going wrong, somebody dying in your life, all of the things that happen to human beings. And nowadays, emotional resilience is far, far more important than just basic emotional intelligence. But in reality, you have to have the foundation of emotional intelligence to be able to look
Yeah.
at how do I bounce back. And the other person who, if you've been looking on LinkedIn, I've been so blown away by this woman. She's a psychologist, Dr. Susan David, and she has brought the language of what's called now emotional agility. And I've just bought her book, but I've been reading so much of what she's been posting. She's got some TED Talks and some other things. Emotional agility is the next step up, and how we both manage ourselves and the environment that we're in, and being sensitive to that.
That's pretty cool. I actually seen the LinkedIn post with the book that you bought, and yeah, you made me curious as well. So probably I will buy that book too, because it's the next level, and it seems that that's the natural path right now. So go with the progress, I suppose, and